Good morning. It's the morning headlines with me, Sharaad Kuttan, 21st of October. Two stories dominate the papers today. One is the MCA's EGM, and the other, of course, is UMNO's party elections that happened on Saturday. So I'll start with the English newspapers, which are focused mostly on the MCA. This is The Sun, and the conclusion of the EGM is that Liao Tiong Lai, the deputy head of MCA, survived an attempt to censure him. He's looking very happy on this cover. He continues to look happy on this cover, the Malay Mail. Unfortunately, the head of the MCA, the man who brought the EGM together and tried to censure his deputy, doesn't look so happy. He's going to be facing the party in party elections and perhaps a challenge from Mr. Liao in December. So the Star, that campaigned so heavily for the party president, also, strangely enough, does not have any happy and sad mugs on their front page, but it does tell you the story. No censure on cabinet posts. The party also had other resolutions. They agreed not to take up any cabinet posts, but they are willing to take senator positions, also state exco positions, and positions on government-linked companies. So there you have it. The NSD covers the UMNO party elections on Saturday, suggesting that in fact the party needs to think of itself as a national party. Fulfill agenda is a reference to something the Prime Minister said, telling his party members that the party needs to think of itself and its interests as being of a general sort, not just internal to the party. It reminds me of a statement, coming from America, that what's good for General Electric is good for America. Now the question is UMNO the party that in fact carries the aspirations of the nation with it, or is it a party of certain corporate elites and F-class contractors? Big question, you tell us. Rita Harian has a story that's specific to the elections. It carries a denial by the Prime Minister, or party president rather in this case, and the deputy president, that they interfered and influenced voting. They like to believe that this was the results in fact favoured the party's interest, the people from the ground. The big narrative, of course, coming last week was whether this was a triumph of progressives or whether it was the power of incumbency. Sina Harian gets very granular with UMNO in Selangor. You remember UMNO in Selangor was tasked to take back the state. They failed to do so. In fact, they lost ground. The leader of UMNO Selangor was never decided, and it was a position taken by the Prime Minister himself, Najib Tun Razak. So if you want to know more about the nitty-gritty of UMNO Selangor, this is the paper to read. Utusan carries its own take with lots of graphics. This is somewhat unusual. You don't usually have cartoon characters on Utusan Malaysia. Well, not in this way anyway. And so there you have it. The paper suggests that in fact a good number, 1/3 of divisions have had a change in leadership. Finally, Harian Metro, our tabloid that always has interesting stories. Now this is Harian Metro's take of the day, dramatic story of a fisherman adrift for 19 days at sea. Otherwise, stories of pretty women, kids in Palestine, I believe, having their fingernails pulled, and a story about young women who can't control their violent tempers rather. So there you have it. If you have any questions, please leave them on the comment section. We'd like to interact with you. This is the Morning Headlines with me, Sharaad Kuttan, 21st of October.